Hello there, and welcome back to another episode of Three Crones in the Woo-Woo. I am one of your three hostesses, Gayle Nicholson, over at Creative Command Coaching and Consulting. And to my side, I have Krista Ducharme, intuitive healer, teacher, and life coach with Dimensional Healing with Krista on Facebook. And we also have the lady of the hour, Joanne Angelberry Cologne, certified personal trainer, intuitive healer, and cosmic energy reader with Wholistic Fitness in New York. Welcome, ladies. I want to let everybody know that this is our last week with Joanne as one of our three Crones. So we want to make sure that she knows by the end of this hour how much we love her, how much we will miss her, and take every opportunity to celebrate her. So for anybody who's in the comments already, will you put a heart up there for Joanne? Awesome. Yeah. Awesome stuff. All right. And you know the drill, like, comment, and share this broadcast to be entered into the Three Crones giveaway this week. All right. And again, also, please make sure that you reach out to our sponsor, Sue Paquin, over at Retail Therapy with Sue and Classic Act Imports, CAI, and take a look at what she's got in that's new, because she's been adding to her inventory based on everything we do here, and we're so happy to see that. All right, ladies, so how are things for you? How was your Mother's Day? Joanne, you're planning a wedding with your daughter, aren't you? So how was your Mother's Day?
Yes. Well, actually speaking, Mother's Day had absolutely nothing to do with my daughter's wedding. We didn't speak about wedding at all, which was weird. Mm-hmm. But anyway, yeah, there was no wedding talk, but there was just a lot of just sharing pictures and just enjoying each other's company. Between her, my dad, and me, and I had a chance to chat with my two sisters on the phone. So it was a really nice day.
That's awesome.
And just enjoying the day, because it was a beautiful day, and at least until, let's say, the end of the day, like about 4 or 5 o'clock, then it got a little cloudy and did some raining. But otherwise, awesome day. Probably one of the best Mother's Days I had in a long time, and I have no idea to why.
It was one of my best too, like top 5. How about you, Krista? How was your Mother's Day?
It actually was a really great day. It was gorgeous here. I mean, like primo weather. So it was about 82, beautiful puffy clouds, blue sky, and there was a breeze as well. So it really was gorgeous. And, considering I have 2 children on opposite ends of the earth, literally.
Right.
And then my third child, she's here. She made me breakfast for Mother's Day. So we did Mother's Day in the morning. Mm-hmm. And then Kevin and I celebrated our 29th wedding anniversary, which happened to fall on Mother's Day this year, in the afternoon. So it was kind of a really neat day. Mm-hmm. And it was quiet. Yeah, I guess I could, to say it was a top 5, I don't want to give it a number, but it definitely was a lovely Mother's Day, because we were able to actually eat out for the first time in a restaurant since August.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
It was. I mean, it was outdoor eating, and we had to make a reservation, and it was really kind of, I find, funny, because we went to Graffiti here in Heroin. Anybody who's familiar with it, it's a really great, yummy restaurant. And it was the last place we ate at before everything closed down. It's the first place we ate at when we were able to. So we thought that was kind of cool.
Right. That is really cool.
It is.
I like that. I like that you actually got to go out someplace to a restaurant. Very nice.
Yeah, I mean, it was very well social distanced. And of course, at this point now, Kevin and I are both completely vaccinated, as well as Genevieve. And so that makes it nice. However, still European rollout is really far behind on that. So, you have to mind the social distancing. So, and that's what everyone's doing, because we all want, we're done with the closed offness. So it's like, okay, if we behave, then we'll be able to get out and play more. So that's what we're all doing.
Isn't that an interesting way to put that? So I had a great Mother's Day too.
Excellent. I was gonna say, did you see your granddaughter, that cutie little pie that
For
she
like
is?
2 seconds. 2 seconds.
Oh.
No, even better though, was that my son-in-law took care of the baby, and Bill took care of the baby on Friday, allowing my daughter and I to go away camping for Friday, Saturday, and then we packed everything up and came home on Sunday so she could spend Mother's Day with the baby.
Nice.
It was phenomenal. Oh my gosh. The weather was perfect. The sky was cerulean blue. The big puffy white clouds like you were just talking about. And I'm telling you, there is absolutely nothing better than wrapping a nice big hunk of beef in aluminum foil and throwing it right into the fire, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a really yummy thing to do. I also like the potatoes into the fire.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Really get into that. And then sleeping. Now, you guys camped in tents, or did you bring a trailer?
Yeah, my daughter actually has an RV, but I have what I call my vacation home. I have an 8-person tent that I have a double blow-up or queen size blow-up mattress in, and dressing space. It's a 2-person tent really, but it's marketed as an 8-person tent. I have I've got an entire freaking kitchen set up with an easy up. I've got a toilet area. We've got our seating little table and propane fire pit, just in case we happen to be in an area where we can't build a fire out of real wood, right? Mm-hmm. And it was absolutely restorative. Let me put it that way, right? Because it was just absolutely what we needed, and it's been great ever since getting back as well. So that's phenomenal. We had so much fun, and I went gold panning. I found a little bit of gold.
Oh, yay!
And I also found some really interesting little quartz crystals, teeny tiny little quartz crystals that look like Herkimer diamonds. So gonna have to explore that a little bit further, because as far as I know, Herkimers only come from Herkimer, New York.
That's right. Yeah, definitely.
And then there was these little teeny tiny black ones that kind of look like tourmaline, except for they are exactly cubic, like a Borg ship.
Really?
Yeah. And I'll have to show them to you later. I've got that little sample bag packed. But I was really phenomenally just like excited about what's possible, that I went and I ordered this little kit here. And what this little kit is maps.
Yes.
So one of these maps shows like the entire region that I live in. And you would be amazed, not just at how many, like these pink spots here indicate gold or silver, right, being found there. But these little ones with the numbers in them, they're all different kinds of crystals that are found in Arizona. Quartz,
that is so
fluorite,
cool.
All kinds of stuff. So,
excellent.
I've got my adventures mapped out for me, literally, in the next few months. I'm excited about it.
So, yeah, you go scope it out so that when I get back to the States, then we can go together.
Yes. I'm so excited about that. That'll be awesome. Awesome. All righty. So, I want to just take a second. Thanks everybody for being here. We've got a number of people watching on Facebook. We are live on GayleNicholson.com stream. Once again, everything is fixed there, which is fabulous. So make sure to make a comment. Let us know that you're there. And Joanne, would you like to start things off with your report today?
Of course. And where shall we start? Because we are anyone who's been watching on a regular basis know that today is an amazing day because it has two of my favorite things in it. It's a shame the show does not take place on Mondays because then there'll be three favorite things going on. But let's not ask for too much now. So here we have, and before I even dive in, just want to put out there energetically for everybody, including myself, this energy that we have going on between the Pluto retrograde and all the other energies that are literally in the process of like flowing in. Like this week alone, by Thursday, we will have Jupiter. No, I'm sorry. Flip that back. By Thursday, gotta get my facts together. By Thursday, we will have Saturn also in retrograde on Thursday, the 13th.
Yeah, that's right.
Saturn will be going retrograde in Aquarius energy.
Oh,
so
wow.
we will, at that point, we will have both Pluto and Saturn in retrograde. Now, if you know anything about those two planets, in just a big all, it really is about what we're all going to be healing from, the things that are going to come up for every one of us on an emotional level. Now, I was having a really interesting conversation with a woman the other day, and her and I were chatting about the process of when, as healers specifically, when we work with our clients, we're so good at getting our clients to focus on what we want it to be instead of what it is. And we take them out of that space of that negative energy, so to speak. But what we tend to forget to do, and I've been doing a lot more of this recently, is allowing our clients to actually feel what they feel, as opposed to telling them, well, let's put a happy face on and think about it the way you want it to be, as opposed to what it was. Because the process of when we heal is actually experiencing what it was and getting to that place to really recognize what it was, pulling up those wounds, and then get into the space of, we'll use the word, shall we say, forgiving. And once we get to that space of forgiving, then we can literally let it go. And that's when we go into the process of healing the wound. So with all that being said, with Pluto, we already know Pluto is our planet of transformation and rebirths and digging up all the decay that's been, sucked down. And Mars can get sucked down too. Saturn is the same. Saturn is about the whole process of structure and discipline and really becoming more aware of who you are on a deeper level. And it's an Aquarius energy. And Aquarius is an air sign. So it is really about the way we think of things, the way we analyze everything. And I'm not exactly sure, because I don't have the numbers in front of me, on how long Saturn will be in retrograde for, but I'm almost sure it will be there for a while, because why not? Why would it not?
Well, yeah, it's one of those outside planets that takes a long time to do its thing.
Exactly.
I think I read on something that it's up through, they said be prepared for that one, through September, October timeframe.
Yeah.
Pluto was
so
October.
yeah.
Pluto, I know that Pluto is retrograde until October 6th.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd have to double check my my notes to see the exact date of when Saturn goes direct again. But let's just understand that it hasn't even gone retrograde yet. It goes this week. This Thursday is when it retrogrades. So it's going to be quite interesting. But let's talk about today.
Okay.
Let's talk about today. Today, as I said, two of my favorite things. Today is May 11th, and we all by now know the 11 is a master number. So this particular day is again about us reflecting on mastering our partnerships on all levels. And then to boot, let's add some fun and confetti to this party and some balloons. If you, I don't know if you guys can see them. Let me see. Can you see them?
Yeah. Woohoo! We got balloons.
Yes. some balloons. I have an extra one back there for Mother's Day. I don't know if you can see that one. But
Yeah, I
anyway, yes. So in addition to today being the 11th, today is also our new moon in Taurus energy. So today, for anyone who does any type of rituals, this is your day to do the rituals. This is your day to, like, literally, if you need to get your crystals outside to cleanse them, get them outside, get them in the dirt. If you need to get yourself outside to cleanse yourself, get yourself outside and cleanse yourself.
Right.
Even though we do not physically see the moon, we are definitely feeling the moon. I don't know about you ladies, but I know I am definitely on an emotional level feeling this energy of this Taurus and recognizing the newness that's coming in, because that's what the new moons are all about. It's about the newness that's coming in.
Okay, great. So this morning I thought about, I've got this big 3-gallon mason jar with a spigot on the bottom. I'm like, I'm going to make me some moon water out, in this. So now's a good time to do it. I know I can do moon water in any phase of the moon, but let me ask you this. If you make the moon water, for example, under a full moon, does it have certain intentions behind it, of full moon intentions, as opposed to new moon intentions if I make some today? Right? Or is it just moon water?
Well, yes and yes. Yes and yes. Yes.
Okay.
Because we all know that intentions are extremely powerful. So ideally, when you are creating your moon water under the new moon energy, then ideally it's emphasizing the newness of whatever you're charging the intention with. Now, the same concept goes if you are utilizing the full moon energy and creating moon water during a full moon, because full moon is about releasing things, letting things go, you're setting it in that intention. So a lot of it is really on what it is you're setting. Now, contradiction to what I just said, my belief, my true belief is, because when I think about the new moon and I think about the full moon, I always activate the full moon's energy with releasing and also bringing something in that's new. So I do both for full moon. New moon is just strictly focusing on what I want to bring in, the new things. So if I were filling up my jar and setting it out with the moon water for particularly today's energy, it would be really focused on my new intentions. And every time I pour the water in to drink, I would be focusing on that new intention. When I do it for the full moon, though, it's a combination of both. I am focusing on the thing I want to let go of so I can make that space for the thing I want to bring in. Because one of the most important things, at least for me, is anytime we're releasing something, if we do not fill that space up with something new, unfortunately, on a subconscious level, that space gets refilled with what you try to release. So it's really important to make sure you refill something that you're releasing with something you want to bring in. You don't want to just sort of keep it open.
Yeah, well, nature abhors a vacuum, right? It will fill it with something.
Exactly, yeah. So those who, Gayle, if you want to do your moon water today and you want to just focus on your intentions for what you want to bring in, your new things, I would definitely recommend that for the new moon. And for the full moon, like I said, for me, I do a combination of both. So it's really up to you, and it's really what you're intuitively feeling.
Awesome. Now let me bring Krista into this. So if I want to charge that moon water with crystals, what can I safely drop into that water that would support and amplify the intention of bringing new particular things into my experience?
Well, I'm glad you put it as what can you safely?
Right?
Thank you for adding that caveat. Yes, as Gayle so amply put, safely. It is really important because as wonderful and as beautiful as crystals are, there is a list of toxic ones. And honest, if you want, I have a place I can put a link. If you're interested in finding out what toxic crystals there are, just, comment below and I'll drop a link at the end of the show or first thing tomorrow.
Actually, I'm going to ask you to post that under the files section of our new official Three Crones in the Woo Woo Facebook page.
I can do that as well. Yes, ma'am.
Yay!
Yeah.
Congratulations and great work, by the way.
Oh, thank you. It's still a work in progress. Hey, we're getting there. We're getting there. Yeah, I will. I'll drop the file there. Definitely. So what crystals? Any quartz-based crystals. Now, what does that mean? Think of the simple quartz that you have access to. Rose quartz, clear quartz, amethyst. A carnelian is great. Also, aventurine is a fantastic one. I do like aventurine. I like citrine in new moon water. I like rose quartz in new moon water. My suggestion would be really think about what it is that you're trying to create, what it is that you want to bring forth and create new.
That's a great point, because when I would want, like we're moving over to StreamYard and we're kind of revamping a little bit with Joanne leaving and us bringing in Damaris. So if I'm going to create this around our business here, right? Yeah. My first thought is to go to malachite, and that's a no-no in water.
Oh, yeah, no. However, you can charge the water with malachite. You put malachite against the container, the outside of it, and you lean it against that. So any of the toxic ones, and when we have malachite on as a crystal of the week, I'll explain why that one's toxic. But any toxic crystal, it is easy. You just put it up against the container. And here's my other thing about creating any kind of moon water, whether it's new moon water, whether it's full moon water, whether it's even anywhere in between, is it has to be in a glass container.
Yes.
Do not use plastic, and do not use the other elemental kind of water you can do. You could do copper, but just make sure that you put it out after the sun's gone down. Make sure you get it before like 9 a.m. And then transfer it into a non-copper container. But
I imagine a clay crock would be okay, being that it's natural, like glass.
Yeah. Yes, as long as it's one that's sealed, that so it's food safe. Yeah. And drinkable safe. So the big thing with it being, you don't want to use any man-made materials. You want to keep it as natural as possible, because that's your connection with the water. But yeah, think about what it is that you're wanting to do. If you have questions and you're like, oh, this is a good idea. And actually, I love the fact that you're on this, Gayle, because I was just like, you know what? I don't have a big jar right now, but I'm going to go get one of my large mason jars before I go to bed, fill it with water, and hopefully put it somewhere where either the squirrels or the rabbit or the deer we're getting lots of visitors in our yard.
Everybody's waking up.
They are. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome.
But yeah, so for us though, one of the crystals you might want to think about is aventurine.
Yes, I will definitely. Aventurine, citrine. What about Iceland spar calcite?
It's a calcite. I don't recommend putting calcite into water because of the Mohs hardness. Okay, gotcha. So you don't want to do anything. It will disintegrate. Selenite, as lovely as it is, don't put it in water because it will disappear. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you want Mohs hardness of 7 and above. And quartz is just an easy one. And I put quartz in water frequently and drink it. So
awesome. Yeah, just be careful that because they become very clear.
Well, I haven't had that happen. I guess if I leave it outside, yes, that does happen. And I don't live in the Arizona side. So.
No. I wasn't talking about like the color of it. I mean, if you've got a nice clear quartz crystal inside the water and you don't realize it, you could swallow it very easily if it's floating around separately.
Make sure it's a big piece. Don't put little chips. Never little, unless it's in something in your water.
Gotcha. Awesome. Now I want to check back in with Joanne because we kind of like stepped into her section today, and I want to make sure, do you have anything else that you wanted to talk to us about with that this morning before we go on to the next actual segment?
Well, I mean, there is so much to talk about regarding the energy that's taking place right now. You know, like we said, we have Pluto in retrograde. We have Saturn that's going to go into retrograde. What date is the other friggin' day? Sometime this week. And I want to say the 13th, but I could be wrong. Jupiter is going to be moving into Pisces energy. And those of you who are Pisces like myself, this is a good thing. This is a very good thing for us Pisces folks. I'm very excited for Jupiter to be moving over to Pisces. Yay! Lots of gifts and lots of expansion that's going to take place. And those of you who also have Virgo in your chart will be also feeling this Jupiter moving into Pisces because it's the opposition sign. So look into that. I'll be doing a live video about the Jupiter moving into Pisces because I think it's really important. And I mean, we're all going to feel it. It's just that those of us who have Pisces and Virgo in our charts are going to feel it more. Right. So, but lots of energy coming in. As we spoke about a couple of weeks ago, Mars is in Cancer right now, and that's playing a huge role on action and new foundations because it's in the 4th house, and 4th house is all about the home and your foundation, and whether it's your shelter foundation or your actual body foundation. Is playing a huge role there. So there is really a lot of fun energy going on. And then, of course, we have Mercury and also Venus in Gemini right now. And that's helping us to communicate. It's literally helping to communicate. It's a loving communication, at least for the next 2.5 weeks, because then Mercury will also be joining the retrograde family. So by the end of this month, we will have 3 planets in retrograde. And we all love retrogrades.
It's a time to reconnect. See it now.
2 weeks of, oh, I love you. And then it's, I take that back.
What are you doing here?
I'm sort of hoping that with Mercury and Venus both being in Gemini right now, that it's actually going to help things out for when it does go, when Mercury goes retrograde. I am really hoping that it makes things a lot easier and just allows communication just to like have that space to open. And also recognizing, for our viewers, wherever Mercury is sitting in your chart, and also where Gemini is sitting in your chart is going to determine how it's going to influence you. So all of us, it may influence on a very different level. And for some, it could be such an amazing healing moment. So I'd be really interested, and I'm sure Krista and Gayle will keep me posted. Yes. I'd be really interested to know from our viewers how the retrogrades are influencing each and every one of our viewers as we go further into it.
That's a great idea. That
really is a great idea because,
So yes, everyone watching, please make sure as you start noticing like these shifts that are happening with these retrogrades happening, let us know in the group. Anybody can post in the group.
That's right.
So
and then when you move over to the new page, 3 Crones in the Woo Woo.
Yep.
It's our new page. Yeah, you can share that stuff there too.
Yep.
Because we're moving everybody over there.
Yes. Yep. I'm very, very excited about what you've been doing, Krista. It's great, great stuff. Thank you so much for doing that. Joanne, thank you for your consistent high level look at what we are, going to be dealing with for the week ahead and the week after that, and maybe even the whole month at times. You have, without fail, always been able to answer whatever questions that we had. Even if the answer is, I don't know, I'll get back to you.
That's always a good answer.
Right?
It's a very legit.
Yeah. And I just want to make sure that you feel completely acknowledged and thanked for everything that you have contributed to Three Crones in the Woo Woo so far. And though you may not be one of the hosts going forward in the future, you are always one of the family and one of the group. So please don't make a stranger of yourself.
Of course not. Definitely not. I'll have to pop in every once in a while as a special guest.
Yes. That would be awesome.
There you go. That'll be fun.
Could you only imagine four Crones on one show at one time? Wow, I don't know if the viewers can handle that. But we can definitely play around here and there.
That would be so much fun, though.
Yes,
that would be so much fun.
I don't know. Can the world handle all of this awesomeness all at once?
It's just going to have to expand and get used to it.
There you
That's
go.
right.
You'll have to try, because you just never know. You just never know what the universe has in store in months to come. Who knows?
That's true. True story there.
Very true.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you. And Krista, would you like to take us forward with your segment, please?
Happily. So, guys, well, last week it was Apache Tear, right? Mm-hmm. And so this week it's Black Tourmaline. So what does that mean? Black Tourmaline is a transformation stone. It's a grounding stone. It is actually a great connection stone in terms of bringing you into that space of mindfulness. It works well. It pairs really well with higher level stones, such as selenite, and I'll show you this in a second. But the aspect that I think in terms of why it is so important this week, was what Joanne was hitting on. We're going into that retrograde season again. And we're doing a lot of we're transforming. Everything's about transformation that's coming up. I mean, our full moon, it was Scorpio, right? And you're welcome.
And Krista, I just want to throw in there before it changes. Right now, if I have it right, it's 3:33 p.m. Eastern time. Just an FYI.
That is awesome. Again, great message. So that's all about that's oh boy, this is awesome.
You just broke her.
Don't.
I'm glitching.
Guys, remember.
I'm glitching.
I'm glitching. It's after 9:00. We're always happy when my brain is still working after 9:00. So let's not break me right now. No, so that's really super cool. But it's all about transformation, and it started with the full moon. And the theme is still carrying on, and it's carrying on in terms of helping us be grounded in those transformations. So when you're dealing with other transformative stones, which opal is one, and that one, oh, by the way, is just like, tourmaline is down here and opal is like right up here in terms of you really have to be ready for that one. But this one's a really good one because it's grounding you. It's keeping you, encouraging you to stand firm in who you are. Now, what does that mean? When I'm saying this, I'm like getting, okay, I'm being shown firm, standing firm. It doesn't mean stubborn. You know, did you guys ever watch Dances with Wolves?
Here, I was just going to say, there's a difference between having a stand for something and
Yes.
being right about something.
Yes. 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 Yeah, definitely. And then, you know, what I was thinking about with the whole Dances with Wolves is, you remember the woman
Mm-hmm.
who was taken as a child, and her name was Stands with Fists.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, no, it doesn't mean stands with fists. You know, that isn't what it is. You know, it's about standing firm and being confident in the next steps that you're taking through your transition. So it's Tourmaline, and I will post a really good picture, but this little guy doesn't come out and play very often. I have bigger ones that I took photos of. This one is a little guy, and he actually usually sits at Kevin's computer, but he's not at Kevin's computer right now because he's in my hand. That is a great, you know, they're really fantastic. They're also really great for having by your computer, by the way. If you're somebody who has problems, like I am so energized, I glitch out electronics.
Yeah.
So I have to have grounding stones and Himalayan salt near my electronics to keep my electronics from glitching.
Yeah.
So this is a polished palm stone that's tourmaline. And I love doing or giving these as gifts to people, along with a selenite.
Nice.
Because this is a yin and a yang balancer. So if you're feeling off during all this retrograding that we're having happen, and our transformations that are going on, and maybe you're stumbling through that communication process because you're feeling overwhelmed by it, a piece of black tourmaline, especially the polished palm stone, because it's easy to hold in your hand, and a piece of selenite, now this one's a soapstone, in the other hand, just holding it in each hand for 5-10 minutes. Oh, wow.
I'm like, don't drop out now.
It's very grounding. And what it is, very balancing. And it really kind of helps you reconnect with yourself. And people will say, well, which one needs to go in which hand?
Your intuition
however
will guide that.
Feels best. How's that? Like right now, this feels really good. I don't know. Let's bring it over here. Ooh, this feels really good too. Oh, wow. This hand now is tingling. Oh, yeah. So see, it's good either way. But if you can do that, you're going to find that this really helps to bring you back to center, especially if you're having those moments of, you know, Calgon, take me away. Because everything is in, you know, you're like, my world is spinning out of control with all this retrograde transformation stuff.
Yeah. I didn't ask to be transformed. What's going on here?
Yeah. And I'm sorry
We're
to
all
report.
being transformers.
Yeah, I was going to say, the Autobots are not going to show. You are the Autobot.
Yes.
All right. Yes.
That's awesome. Oh, that's fantastic.
You know, and I know everyone wants to be Bumblebee, but you know.
Pretty much, yeah.
He steals the show.
He does. He's so adorable. I mean, how could you not, you know, like feel all of the nurturing, the inside of you come up at this poor car that can't even talk, right?
That's right. That's it. But I'll tell you, he has great taste in music.
He does. He does.
Or
He
at
knows
least
to
the
find
writers
those
do.
pertinent lines of lyrics anywhere. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
You know, it's funny because as you picked up both of them, I'm like, oh, don't phase out. Don't phase out.
What?
Oh,
I've had a day, so I have to. I mean, for me, I'm just like, okay, step away from the crystal.
yeah.
You need to stay focused.
That's so funny. So funny. Well, once again, thank you very much for that report. And I want to make sure that everybody knows, as if they don't already know, that you can reach out to Sue Ward Paquin at Class Act Imports, or her group on Facebook, Retail Therapy with Sue and CAI. And check out what she's got available, not just in Baltic Amber or Black Tourmaline, but any of the other crystals that Krista has talked about during the course of us doing the show. It's been, what, 6, 7 months, 8 months now, I think? Almost 9?
No, not quite that long, but almost.
Yeah,
We've been together that long.
Yeah.
So I have insider information. I have insider information, guys.
Ooh.
So I know that Sue and I, Dimensional Healing, are in the midst of putting together crystal boxes. And one happens to be a yin and yang box.
Awesome.
Not quite like this, but very close. So that, if you're interested in the yin and yang, because that's what we're talking about tonight, mention that to her, because we're in the middle of working on that and stuff. So yes,
that's awesome. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it. That'll be phenomenal. All righty. Well, let's see. What else can we do? I want to remind everyone to like, comment, and share this broadcast so that you can be included in the weekly drawing. And once again, this week it will be, I believe it's the last one of the 3 Crones and the Woo Woo translucent selenite charging slabs up for offer. So if you really have been salivating over this for as long as we've been giving them away, and I know there are a couple of you that have been, because I've seen you mention it, now is the time to like make sure that you get this done, because it's going to be pretty much the last one. All right. But also, let's see. I just want to, where'd she go? Oh, there she is. There's the contact information for Sue at Class Act Imports. Her email, her phone number, her Facebook, her Instagram, her website. So you have no excuses. You know 5 ways to get a hold of this lady and find exactly what you need. All righty. All right, so let's talk a little bit about some creative commands here. Today's topic is you do you, boo-boo, no regrets. Right? And I think it
love that topic.
That was a great topic.
I love that topic. You do you, boo-boo.
Right? And I think that it times up really, really well with, of course, the Black Tourmaline for grounding, right? But a lot of us, with the what's going on with the planets in the next couple of weeks, right? We're going to be going through some massive transformations. And people like us, not just Crones-ish, but people like us tend to be empaths. And we tend to link up with other people that we want to be around, and sometimes morph ourselves a little bit to be the compatible piece there, right? Well, that time has passed, right? This transformation going forward is for you to land in who you be. Not what so-and-so needs you to be for them. Not what you think you should be based on things that 3 generations were told to your mother and grandmother, and they passed that crap down to you, and we're an entirely different world, technologically speaking now, with roles that have already changed so much. So, you know, this the last part of getting rid of those pre-programmed operating systems that you were raised with, and getting rid of everything that really doesn't come down to your own essence, which I think is one of the reasons why black tourmaline this week is so very important, to stay grounded in that. Because as these pieces of us transform, transmute, get burned off, and fly away, right? There will be moments where we're going to be asking ourselves, well, who am I now? Mm-hmm. Who am I? What do I choose to have going forward? And this is a really good time for you guys to sit down and actually write that out, because with the new moon energy, set that intention that's what you want to bring in for whatever is new for you. This is not a time where we will be going back and going, oh, well, that kind of worked 10 years ago. I liked that. Let's go recreate that. No, that's more of the same. That's a mask on the past. That's not transformation. And as you can walk through this process with your tourmaline, maybe even your selenite for a little yin-yang balancing, you will stay centered in your purpose as everything shifts around you, right? So, like Krista told me before we started the show today, this is going to be my new best friend. I'm saying get you some too, because it's going to be yours as well. Maybe for a different reason, but it will be for this process, right?
Black tourmaline has many uses.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
I gotta share this though. One of the first things that I was ever told about black tourmaline is that, if you need things to slow down, get some black tourmaline, right? Because it slows things down just as much as selenite speeds them up and pushes forward and that kind of thing, right? And the lady looks at me and she says, whatever you do not put a big chunk of black tourmaline under your bed. And I'm like, oh, why? Am I going to have nightmares? She's like, no, it slows down your digestive tract. You'll get constipated. And I've been so scared of that. I've never tried it to see if she was telling the truth.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't think I would either.
Yeah.
However, I have used a snowflake obsidian at the foot of my bed. It's all about the placement.
Yeah.
Now, granted, because you're this little tiny, dynamite that you are, your placement, depending upon how tall Bill is, for him, your feet may be higher up than what might work for him.
Yeah. Yeah. The funny thing about me is the way that I sleep. I grab the pillow underneath me like this on my belly and scooch down so the covers are over my head with a hole that I can breathe through. And my feet are down at the foot of the bed.
Well, there you have
it.
It works.
It works. So yeah, here's the most important part of this whole thing, with the topic being you do you, boo boo, no regrets, is over this past week I was doing an awful lot of thinking about when I was on a very long roll, right? And what was different about my emotional state then than now. And I remembered a mantra that I used to have, and I'm bringing it back. And that mantra is guilt, shame, blame, and doubt are power leaks and have no place in my life. Right? Guilt, shame, blame, and doubt have no place in my life. And I haven't been acting like that lately. Right? So I'm bringing that back in, because when we operate from, oh, I'm going to do something that makes my heart sing. Oh, that person I care about doesn't like that so much. Oh, I regret doing that. I'm ashamed of doing that. I shouldn't have done that. Right? Guilt. That's bullshit, honey. That is bullshit. Do not make your choices that way. And I know you've been there. I've been there too. But the more that you can stand firm in who you are, grounded in who you were created to be and who you have polished yourself to be over the entire span of your life, the more you'll be flying on a long, extended roll, the more you'll be productive in what it is that you were brought here to contribute to the planet. And lastly, the more fun you'll have living your life day to day. So I invite you to take today's topic on as your mantra and remind yourself, you do you, boo-boo. No regrets, no guilt, no shame, no blame. You are the mistress of your destiny, and you will transform into exactly what you need to be most satisfied and fulfilled with the life you have. Awesome. Alrighty, so you want to hear about the winner this week?
Oh, yes, of course we do.
Yes. All right. So this week's winner, I want to give a huge shout out because not only did she like, comment, and share, she came into the thread about, have you seen this week's show? Did you do it yet? And said, hey, I liked, commented, and shared it. And it was so easy to find. So thank you. Thank you very, very much for doing that, Miss Paula Tingley. You are this week's winner of the 3 Crones and the Woo Woo Translucent Selenite Charging Slab. Please pop into my messenger and give me your snail mail address so that I can get this out to you. And I'm not sure yet what we're going to put together for new weekly prizes with the new format. But if you have any ideas of things that you would like us to consider making the weekly prize, please put that in the comments or, throw something into the group itself as a separate post. That's fine too. But let us know because we want to make you happy. We want you to have what you'd like to have. Right?
That's right. Definitely. We're, we have a lot of fun, the three of us. Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. And Joanne, we are so sad that you're going to be going. But with Damaris, we had so much fun that one day she was on. So I know we're going to have fun. However, guys, the fun is only, as much with us. Well, we want to have it with you too. Yeah. And so we want you to play with us. Yes. So talking to us, I love it. Like earlier, Tracy put a comment about underwear. Yeah. Yes, I can't go without talking about underwear. Joanne, you brought it up. Are we talking about underwear today? Got to give you that one last, underwear comment.
Oh, yes. Yeah. What color are you wearing today? Put that in the comments, please.
That's right. It's important. And I already had somebody say, I have to go look, including me. I was like, darn it.
That was awesome. Awesome stuff. Yes, I echo what Krista is saying. We have fun among ourselves, but we could do a Zoom call, right? And have fun among ourselves. We want you to have just as much fun with this as we are. So please post stuff in the group, mention stuff on the page, respond to the stuff we put out on the page, comment on the show, because you are the extended family that we have created out of this. And I don't know about the rest of them, but when I claim something, I don't let them go. That's why I call them the Woo Crew.
Yes. I hope you guys like that because that's how I refer to you as the Woo Crew. And I just kind of came out and I always know that when that happens, that means it's going to stay. Yep. Yeah, that's, I don't work at giving nicknames. I don't work at creating, it's not something, it just has to happen naturally. And that's what happened.
it always goes better that way, doesn't it? It just really does.
It really does.
Not trying to force it or whatever. No. So Joanne.
Yes, my dear.
Since your Tuesdays at 3 p.m. are going to be free now, tell us what you're going to be, what? I missed that.
I said, so you think.
So I think, yeah. Tell us what is next for you. What are you going to be doing? Where can everybody find you? What's on tap for you now?
Well, everybody can still find me on my Sundays TV show, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, Joanne's Healing Within. That's still going, up and live and fun. And I'm just currently working on a major project right now. So that's going to be taking up a lot of my time. And I think last week sometime, what I envisioned the project to be last week during my workout, because for whatever the reasons are, during workout time is when Spirit and my mom decides I'm most, I guess, grounded and focused, and they decided they needed to talk to me and share with me about this project that I'm doing and how it just became a little bigger. And I'm like, oh, I was so excited to almost be done with the project. And yeah, so the project's going to go another right after Mercury retrograde, because that's what speaking with my amazing astrologer Kendrick, they're giving me an extension on a day in regards to when would be the best time to present the proposal over to whom I'm handing it over to. So I'm going to be spending a lot of time doing that, and just opening up the space, because I have a sense that things are going to get busy. Things are going to get very busy. And it's like, even though it's an hour of my time, when you really think about it, it's only an hour that we do this, but it's like that hour could either be me having lunch,
right?
Because I won't have time to have lunch any other time, or me having that moment to get that workout in, or whatever else is going to be taking me. But I think it's the very first time that I've actually allowed my intuition to guide me and do something without knowing what the hell I'm going to be doing, which was a little scary on my end, because when I heard the message that it was time for me to leave the 3 Crones and the woo-woo, I'm like, what? I said, you delivered that message to the wrong person. I'm like, that's supposed to go someplace else. What's this about? And that's just what I heard. And I sat with it for a little while and meditated. And I'm like, this doesn't make sense. I was like, what am I replacing it with? And they just said to me, you just have to make space. And I'm like, but that's not the way I do things.
Transformation.
I don't do things like that. I don't just make space. And they're like, well, this time you are. I'm like, oh. I was like, okay. So I was like, all right. So if the viewers are sitting back saying, well, what is she going to be doing instead? I have no friggin' idea.
Well, you're still going to be, holistic fitness, right? You still got your gym, right? Yes. You're still going to be working with one-on-one clients, right?
Yes, yes,
right.
Yes.
I expect I'll still probably see at least half as many Facebook Lives from you as before, at least.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. I mean, I actually think, in a weird kind of way, people are going to be seeing more of me than even before, if that's even possible.
Underwear. What?
Well, I have to keep the clothes on, We'll keep the underwear.
It's not the weekend.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But yeah, so I have whatever the reasons are to why Spirit and Mom suggested that I needed to break free. I'll keep the 2 of you posted and let you know what's going on.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Although, I mean, I do believe the 3 of us, plus Damaris, if I'm not mistaken, will be meeting again on my show.
We will. Yes, we will.
Yes, we will.
2 months or so, or 3 months. What are we in? We're in May, so 2 months from now, there'll be the 4 of us on my show, and that's going to be quite interesting.
Oh, yes.
That will be.
That'll be amazing.
And one of the things I've come to learn about me, and both of you can confirm this if you believe it's to be true or not, sometimes I feel like I'm a catalyst to bringing things together, getting it to where it needs to go, and then once it's where it needs to be, then it's time for me to go and do something else. Does that make sense?
Yep, absolutely.
It does, absolutely, yeah.
It's funny. That's the same energy that Marianne Williamson has, in that she was the spiritual leader at the Renaissance Unity where I used to go in Michigan. And the church was going through some turbulent times, and they were asking her if she would consider staying on, like, extending her contract and becoming, going to Unity Village and becoming an actual Unity minister so she could be the senior minister. And she said, you know what? I'm flattered, but I create things that need to be created and then hand them over to the people that are supposed to move forward with them. That's what I do.
Yes.
Yep.
And God bless her for knowing who she is and what she does and what she doesn't do, because so many of us pick up that, oh, you'd like me to do that? Okay, I'll contort myself and try really hard and go against my own nature to make you happy for a while. And it eventually collapses badly. Anyway.
Exactly.
So bless you for knowing who you are and who you're not and what you do.
So it's exciting to know that there's something unexpected and new coming in, and scary as hell because I don't know what it is, and I really, 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 really want to know what it is. But it's all good. It's all good. I'll be fine. I'll be good. I'll be grounded. And like I said, I mean, I may not be here with you ladies, but I definitely will still be on Facebook, on my show, at my studio, still around, kicking and doing all my crazy woo-woo shit.
Love it.
Hey, and you can now just become a religious viewer.
There you go.
And comment, and share.
Devoted.
I like that. Yeah, that's a better word. Hey, now it's 10 o'clock. My brain is really stretching here, guys.
Speaking of 10 o'clock, as much as none of us want this to end, it is the end of our hour. And we do need to say thank you to the viewers. Thank you so much for tuning in. And thank you to the sponsors. Dimensional Healing with Krista Ducharme, Creative Command Coaching and Consulting with Gayle Nicholson, and Wholistic Fitness New York with Joanne and Angel Berry Cologne. Also, make sure that you tell everyone that they can watch us everywhere. Well, at least everywhere that's important. YouTube, GayleNicholson.com, or Facebook. Those are the places that we can be seen right now, and we'll keep you posted as we keep going beyond that. All right. Once again, thank you, Joanne, and have a fantastic week, everyone. We bless you, and we wish you all the luck in the world with whatever surprise fills that spot, that space that you created. And we love you very much.
Same here.
Have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye.